And welcome back to Sports Check on this Monday morning. It is the 30th day of August. The year is 2021. In conversations about football, basketball, there is a lot of vibe around basketball because of the national teams qualifying for the AfroBasket Championships, the Kenya Morans and the Lionesses, plus also esports. What is this thing about, everyone calls it PlayStation or the video games and all that. What's that industry about? What are the opportunities and also the stigma and the risks around it? How do you mitigate that? Those are conversations that we shall be having. But we get to the final part of our conversation about Talanta FC. It was started as an initiative of the Ministry of Sports and UNICEF, and a countrywide assessment of players was conducted for the recruitment process. And they were identified, associated with the National Youth Talent Academy, and the best of the best from that process formed Talanta FC, which later joined the national leagues. They were in the NSL for about 4-5 seasons, are going into from the 2015-2016 season, and have now been promoted to the FKF Premier League after topping the NSL 69. They've got an unassailable lead. They've topped the second tier of Kenyan football and will be going to play there. What's the journey and the concept of Talanta and how to keep it going? We're joined by the chair of Talanta FC, Wanjiru Mahihu. Wanjiru, welcome.
Thank you very much.
You have been with the club for the past 6 years. What has been the story since you sat in and looking at it as an initiative of the State Department for Sport?
We also accompanied by the Kenya Academy of Sports. It has been a fantastic journey. Yeah, we have gone around the country and working also with a state corporation called KESHA, which maybe many people don't know about it. Yeah. The Kenya Secondary School Heads Association. They have also been very...
Well, the Headmasters Association is well known.
Yes, exactly. And they have been there with us, and we've gone to... We use scouts, so we get all the headmasters. So they bring us their students and we do trials at Kasarani. And that's how we have worked through this time. And so we do the trials and then we select, and we actually select coaches who come in and they're able to select the best players. Then that's how we form the team.
So from that formation of the team now has got to be sustained as a competitive edge rather than just an talent development unit. How then do you balance between the two functions?
What we do, we were lucky enough. Let me tell you, Communication Authority have really come through for us. They have come through for us in an amazing way. So they have sponsored us to the tune of 23 million shillings every year.
So that takes you about, what, 2 million a month?
It takes us about 2 million a month. Every game, I just want to give you the graphics of what... because sometimes people think 23 million, we are too rich.
No, 2 million a month for a squad of 30 is not.
35.
35.
Yeah. So what happens is every year, remember, we actually play in about 20 counties. So, I have to take care of the drivers, take care of the team, take care of the salaries, make sure they're paid on time. And that we have managed to do as FC Talanta. So it's been, it's as much as we appreciate everything that is being done, it's really quite, it's quite challenging sometimes.
You could just give us an overview of the cost of running this team,
a club
yeah, on a monthly basis, given that you've got to play about 4 or 5 matches when the season is on, and this includes when you've got to play a cup competition.
Let me tell you where the challenges are. The challenges are, first of all, you need to find a home playing field, because these guys have to train.
Yes.
Yeah. So you either have to pay for the stadium or the field. Yeah, right now we are playing at James School, Cambridge. Yeah. Before that, we were playing at Kasarani. Now, because of they had their own expectations of what they were doing, So of course it became a bit difficult.
Yeah,
so
there was the under-20 championships.
There was the under-20.
And that meant that...
There was Safari Rally. There was all sorts of things. So because of all those things, we had to find an alternative, Plan B. Yeah, we're always finding a Plan B. And because of that, now you have to find that in your budget. And maybe it was not something that you expected. You know?
Yes.
The other thing is, you know, advertising costs. Your sponsor also expects you to give them visibility. So you pay a marketing agency. Yeah. And then there's the cost of advertising, the cost of... there are a lot of things that come with the game.
Something else that we noted is that this for the past 2 seasons or so, the National Super League has had a sponsor. How much does that mitigate in terms of a club's cost when they come in and, you know, the organization? I know at one point there was a time when clubs were being asked to pay referees. How much has it changed in terms of the cost per game for a club like Talanta, Police, or, you know, basically the 20 clubs in the NSL?
Now, let me tell you something. We are grateful for that sponsor, yeah? But we'd really like to get more sponsors on board. Reason being, even transport costs alone. Like now we have a bus, yeah? Which UNICEF and CA put together for us. It's been 7 years. We have to sell it. We have to sell the bus and put a deposit so we get a new bus. You know, so some of these things become very difficult. These guys play for... These guys are shocking. I get tired watching them.
Why? I mean, they play 38 matches a season and probably about 5 or 6 cup games. If you
watch their game, I feel like I've lost 5 kilos just watching them because they are so amazing, you know, and, you know, the energy involved. After that, of course, there are costs involved. We appreciate all the work that they've done because Kenyatta has done an amazing job. That one I will not take from him. Kenyatta has taken us to the Premier League. And he doesn't joke. He's an amazing coach. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. And, you know, the discipline involved, the waking up in the morning, the training that's involved, they've really done, I don't know. I don't know what I can even say.
The other thing that I would like to mention now that you've mentioned, when Coach Kenyatta was hired, what were the terms of reference? Or the performance indicators that he had to go by at the end of this 2020-2021 season? What
we did is, okay, maybe I should go a little bit back. Maybe I'm taking you too fast.
Okay.
Is FC Talanta is run as a corporate.
Yes.
It's not run with emotions. Yeah? We have... focus this way?
Yes. No, you can continue. Just continue the conversation. This way.
We run FC Talanta as a corporate. So you have... what you're supposed... We actually hired an HR team to recruit for us a proper coach and who will take us to the Premier League.
Okay.
Because we said we have deliverables. We have to deliver. Yeah? So we sign contracts. All our players have contracts and they are signed. By the way, I will tell you, we actually have like about 3 players in Sweden.
Who are out on loan?
No.
Actually play now?
You see, FC Talanta, the thing about FC Talanta is we are supposed to take you further. I'm not supposed to hoard you. So these young gentlemen, if anybody wants them, they can go. Okay. But you pay me.
So it's not for free?
It's not for free.
You get the value and the development value that's behind that.
Exactly. And that is what FC Talanta was developed to be.
Now, the other question that's coming in, because over the weekend, we saw the CAF Women's Champions League qualifiers for the CECAFA region start. And there is a conversation that at the end of it all, every team that's in the top tier should strive to have a women's team, but alongside it. Given your relationship with the secondary school heads, what's the plan? What are the opportunities to have Talanta women?
Thank you very much for that question. By the way, we are actually working towards that, and we have been challenged by our sponsor to actually develop a women's team. That is something that we're really looking forward to. Yeah. What we're looking forward to is first to stabilize the boys, the young gentlemen, yeah, the young players. We have Agakoro, which works with us through UNICEF. And Agakoro, we were fielding their players, by the way, and they are very good.
We know the story of Agakoro.
Agakoro came in very well. And so we wanted to stabilize that first. Now, once we're stable, because we didn't want to take on too much on our plate, and we don't support these guys.
Yes.
So once we're stable, then we can move on now to the girls segment, which is something that we're really looking forward to. Because that will probably get even more sponsorship than the gentlemen. But we just want these guys to be stable first, then we can continue to the girls team. We support women. In fact, that is one of our platforms, is support for women and the young ladies.
You mentioned UNICEF and the social transformation work that would come with it, the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund and Akakoro.
Yeah.
How has that relationship now helped you spread your wings as you do the tapping of the talent?
In fact, we wish we could do more, right? With UNICEF, they have come through for us, especially initially. Remember, we started in July 2012.
Yes.
That's when we started. And that time we were under NITA. And they really came through for us.
Actually, yes, NITA, just in case you just get lost, it's the National Youth Talent Academy.
Yeah. And that time, the head of UNICEF was a gentleman who really set up FC Talanta. And he really went out all of his way, called Mr. Kemanzi. Yeah. He's now working in Malawi. And so he really set up this thing, and he was very passionate about it. So, you know, and then after that, there was Mutua Mudusi, who's now working in Switzerland. And they are the ones who actually set up the platform for us. So without them, they really set up this whole thing for us. And we just took it over. Yeah.
What's now next for Talanta FC going into the next 2 or 3 years? Actually, before I get to that,
yes,
the activities around age grade sport were seized from a directive from the State Department for Sport. That's where Talanta is actually domiciled under. If you just look at it, the structure and the history, how has it affected the talent scouting program over the last 18 months?
You know, we've had issues with especially with COVID. Yeah, we were not able to really do scouting properly. We were working especially with the schools very well, and then we had, you know, schools have closed, this has happened, so it was a bit challenging. But through all that, we have still managed to get through the whole thing about the, you know, especially the recruitment. We've been able to get through that process.
The outlook for Talanta FC for the next 3 years?
We want to partner with international companies, international sports organizations, international sports agencies, so that we give these young people an opportunity. And we're doing that through ministries, through our embassies.
Yes.
And we are going to reach out to all of them so that we can be able to get these guys opportunities out there. I'll give you an example. The other day I was speaking to Olunga.
Michael Olunga.
Yes. He started out in FC Talanta.
True.
Yeah.
Then went to Liberty Professionals, is where he went, made it his home, and was forever on loan to Kenyan clubs before he left for Sweden.
Ghost Mulei has been a big instrumental part of our journey. Yeah. Ghost has got a very good, what do I call it? Like, his professionalism has really helped FC Talanta, and he's our technical director. Yeah.
Okay. As well as the national team coach.
We are lucky like that, you know. And he has really helped us. So we want to partner. We want to make FC Talanta, number one, a sports agency across the board. FC Talanta is supposed to be a sports agency for everybody. Whether it's football, whether it's volleyball, whether it's golf, whether it's whatever it is. Yeah. So that we can bring our young people sports, even athletics, we can push them to the forefront. And that's what we aim to be. That's one of our strategic pillars. Number two, we want to welcome the world. And we thank you for this platform, because we can actually express ourselves and say, this sports agency will be able to push our people so that if you want to play for Qatar, we'll loan you.
A Qatari club, you can't loan somebody to a country. I wouldn't be loaned to a country I wouldn't accept.
Yes, but we want to bring opportunities out there in sports, because we are hoarding sports talent in this country. You guys are fantastic, and you're really good at what you do. But we are not expressing ourselves out there in the world. People want Kenyan players, and this is a career.
Yes.
Look at these young people you were interviewing here just a few minutes ago. Yeah. If they are loaned, we will develop the talent, bring it up from the grassroots, and send it out there into the world, so that they can have a career. If this is what they want to do and they're passionate about it, we'll develop them, give them the discipline, and be able to take them out there.
The name Talanta is actually from talent, and that was the idea that was conceived at the start. And you've mentioned other sports. Are we going to see a volleyball club maybe coming up? Are we going to see a basketball club? Can we see an athletics team eventually that can be running, and depending on where they're located, get affiliated to Athletics Kenya? And we see, for example, some dominance of the National Police Service and the Kenya Defense Forces, being watered down in Kenyan athletics.
We are actually a development center. Look at us that way. The other thing, we are not a money-making club. All right? FC Talanta is for development. So whatever resources we get, like CA has come through for us as a development center, yeah? So we use those resources to be able to develop the club. We would love to do all these things if the funds are required. We have a very serious board. We are audited by KENAU, which is the Kenya National Audit Authority. And so we have the capacity to do all these things. All we need is support from government or any other international organization that can help us, because I know even other parastatals may be limited. But we have the capacity and we have the resources to be able to do that. You'd be very shocked. Ministry of Sports actually has the most, they really understand sports. What they lack is finance.
Now we've got to knock on the doors of the Sports and Arts Development Fund for development, because that has been actually pinpointed as one of the things. Under 20 and national teams, that's a function of the fund.
Imagine, like now, there's, even if we look at Kenya CAS, for example.
The Kenya Academy for Sports.
Kenya Academy of Sports. We had the under 20s, right? We have a whole building that has never been finished. People came from all over the world. Yeah? They should have stayed there. We finish. It's just because they're underfunded. If they are funded, they can actually do a very good job. They have the capacity and they are able to do it. and they are well managed.
Well, you know what? We'll talk to our friends at the State Department for Sports. We have a good conversation with them. You know, also, it's something we call the government-to-government relationship, and see that goes on and it happens. Thank you very much, Wanjiru Mahihu. She's the chairperson of FC Talanta, a development organization, and remember, their football club has gained promotion to the FKF Premier League 9 years after it was formed in 2012 as a development organization under the auspices of the State Department for Sport, working together with UNICEF. And through the years, talent has come through. And earlier we spoke with their top scorer in the 2020-2021 season, Anthony Gisho, and Barack Odhiambo, who is the assistant captain of the side, also scored 8 goals. We shall be taking a short break, and when we get back, more conversations around sport. There's basketball and e-sport to talk about. Is e-sport really a threat to conventional sports? And what about its economic value? Because some of the numbers I've come across, they would shock people. Let's do that after this short commercial break.